its task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when really a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis.
The whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. So they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips and they control people. And you become a slave, you become a serf to these people. That's their goal, that's their intention.
Number 12. Told those present that they must use their wealth to have candidates chosen to public office who would be obedient to their demands and would be used as pawns in the game by the men behind the scenes. The advisors will have been bred, reared, and trained from childhood to rule the affairs of the world. Number 14, their agenteurs will come forward after fomenting traumatic situations and appear to be the saviors of the masses when they are actually interested in just the opposite, the killing of the masses. Number 15, create industrial depression and financial panic, unemployment, hunger, shortage of food. Use this to control the masses or the mobs, and use the mobs to wipe out all those who dare to stand in the way. Well, I'll tell you right now, every expert I've talked to is talking about food shortage.
Experts agree unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to a severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere.
The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising in response to an unfolding pandemic. The board is comprised of highly experienced leaders from business, public health, and civil society.
We could be looking at double the number of cases in 1 week and 16 times as many in a month if we are not able to stop the spread. That would be on the order of 500,000 cases, and it would continue to rise exponentially. In 3 months, we could be approaching 10 million cases.
One thing you just said about getting rid of one of the best ways to get rid of the money is because everybody touches it and there's a germ. We were talking about the Bill Gates funding MIT and Bill Gates backing him, of course, because Bill loves people. He's always trying to help people out, whether he's poking your children with a needle or spraying things in front of the sun so you don't get that pesky sunburn. Bill loves people. They have the invisible ink tattoo that can be read remotely so they can tell if you've gotten your vaccines. Why would they need that unless there was a pandemic? That's the next step. And that ties right into what you just said. That'll do just like they always do. It'll be multifaceted. Force everyone, or actually make everybody want a vaccine because nobody wants to get sick, and then get rid of the money. And of course there'll be incentives. Maybe you get lower taxes. Already when I pay my phone bill, they charge me $1 convenience tax because I pay with cash.
3 months ago, in October of 2019, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation held a drill where they simulated the death of 65 million people from the imminent outbreak of a deadly virus coming out of China. Then that real virus suddenly appeared. Now we learn the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funded another shadowy organization who patented the very coronavirus for a vaccine 2 years ago. Then we learn that a film has been in production for the last 6 months, a mini-series, a docu-series for Netflix titled Pandemic, where Bill and Melinda Gates are the heroes at the end because they finance this intrepid scientist who's looking for a cure to all flu and a unified single vaccine.
We're making a vaccine that could treat all future versions of flu.
This vaccine could eradicate influenza as we know it.
Bill Gates is the chief science officer of the private corporate world government, working with John P. Holdren and others to carry out and execute this covert sterilization depopulation plan. Their operations are in memos like State Department Memorandum 200 and others, and is actually part of a stated planetary goal. They need you to be ignorant and unaware of this for their operation to succeed. Even the head UN scientist and her colleagues came out in December and said vaccines are killing people, that the cover-up is imploding, and that the front-line medical workers know the vaccines are hurting people and are not buying into the propaganda anymore.
We really don't have very good safety monitoring systems in many countries, and this adds to the miscommunication and the misapprehensions because we're not able to give clear-cut answers when people ask questions about the deaths that have occurred due to a particular vaccine, and this always gets blown up in the media. One should be able to give a very factual account of what exactly has happened and what the cause of deaths are. But in most cases, there's some obfuscation at that level.
That's why you see Bill and Melinda Gates funding and financing and casting themselves as heroes in this miniseries being pushed by Netflix and others, trying to terrify you into accepting forced inoculation in the name of protecting your health, when in truth, vaccines have been proven to lower immunity in most cases, to be filled with cancer viruses and other pathogens, and to be a scourge from the technocrats, from the eugenicists in the last 60 to 70 years.
Behind closed doors on this New York campus, a secret gathering of some of the world's most powerful people. Gates, Buffett, Bloomberg, Winfrey. It was like, well, the new Superman and Wonder Woman, the super rich friends. Together with others at the meeting, including George Soros, Ted Turner, David Rockefeller, they're worth more than $125 billion.
That much money, that much power around one table. It begs the question, what were they doing? What were they scheming? Total world domination?
Regardless of what this thing is or isn't, it has the potential to take us directly into an economic collapse. Tonight, as I'm making this video, oil is crashing, down 30%, the VIX is exploding, and the S&P is limit down. As Zero Hedge notes, for the first time since the financial crisis, the E-mini S&P futures have hit the limit down band of negative 5%, something it failed to do even during the May 2010 flash crash. This means that no more trades are allowed below the limit down level until the market opens at 9:30 Eastern. Trades higher, of course, are still permitted, but it looks like there's going to be an awful lot of selling in the week ahead.
Who benefits?